I'm gonna say it like this, and I think it makes more sense the more I think about it and the more I hear about it. And the truth is this: for a hard worker like me, I always try my best to make ends meet, take care of my business, and do what I have to do. It's to a point when having an apartment is a luxury, and you can barely call your apartment a home because at the end of the day, you never here anyway. There was a time when I was working when I was able to plan my months accordingly, but now it got to a point where I got to plan my weeks accordingly. Nah, something ain't right. But it is a saying going around that people would rather work 40 hours a week for 10 hours a day. And then now I think about it, I'd rather work 40 hours a week for 10 hours a day myself. 3 days off for freedom from work. At least 3 days to worry about, okay, I can at least sacrifice one day to either come home, rest up, gain some energy, and I can spend the next 2 days doing what I want to do, how I want to do it, work on my craft, and sometimes be able to make plans for the people I care about. But the truth is, I don't have the time to do nothing. I literally feel like I'm always at work and I'm never home. And about time I get home, what I'm doing? I'm sleeping. Then when I wake up and freshen up, I literally only got 3 hours for myself in my own home before I decide to go back to work. Don't get me started on the economy because the route they're going right now is getting to a point where I'm forced to work overtime. And even still, no matter the amount of overtime I put in, I still feel like I'm trying to plan my weeks accordingly. Like I said, I miss it when I was able to plan my months accordingly. But if I'm to a point where I'm planning my weeks accordingly, something ain't right. But nah, I'm definitely gonna have to agree with the people though on this one. If I could work 40 hours a week for 10 hours straight and have 3 days off throughout the week, I swear to God, I'll probably be just a little bit more at peace with myself. But even still, I feel like having an apartment is a luxury, bro. Because the truth is, you working a 9-to-5 job, it should never be this hard to maintain and make ends meet. It should never be this hard to where you sit down and make a decision if you want to buy groceries or not. You should never sit down and make a decision whether or not if you want to go buy you some new pair of shoes. Or wake up every week and looking at your checks like, damn, about 75% of my check, of each check I make, has to go straight to the savings account. Why? Because I have to make sure I got to pay my bills on time. That's not living, bro. There was a time where being rich and having a mansion, having all them rich sports cars and stuff was a luxury. But the way of living for the lower class citizens, something ain't right. But now I agree, bro. 40 hours a week, 10 hours a day straight, 3 days off, sounds like a deal to me. Why the fuck not? But I truly believe a person working a 9-to-5 job should not be sitting here waking up and trying to plan a week accordingly. You should be able to plan your months, at least your years, accordingly. The economy is already falling apart, and it's going to get to a point where people are planning their days accordingly. And when it gets to that point, if you read the Bible, look what happened to Solomon and Gomorrah. Just saying.